All right, now it's time for a demonstration. So here we are at the CalPADS home screen. We want to go to Online Maintenance, then select Student Data in the left-hand navigation, and this will give us access to the SSID Match Tool. It's on the far right tab. All right, so now we have access to the SSID Match Tool, and we're going to choose a file for upload. We've selected the file, click Open. We can see the file is ready, and we just select Upload. So we know the file is uploaded and it's processing. If you're new to CalPad, upload successful just means that it's processing. It has not necessarily passed the validations. So you have to click Apply Filter to see the results. And so you can see the file that we just uploaded is still processing. And take note of the filter options, right? We have the dates in which we can select for a time span of uploaded files. If we want to narrow it down by school, who submitted the file, or even specific job IDs. I'm going to refresh the screen. All right, so this is the test environment. There's just a few records in that file, so process quite quickly. So I just want to temper expectations. If the file was rejected, we would have a view button under actions. So I previously submitted a file. You can see that it had invalid country, state, province, code combinations. It will tell us that there was an error. These can be identified in their help in the CalPad user manual or in the error list. You can click view, review the record. If you scroll down, country code is Canada, birth state is US California, doesn't work, invalid code. So errors are just like they are anywhere else in CalPads. Same error list, same help, same rules, same everything. All right. So now let's look at a file that passes. So all CalPads extracts, all CalPads downloadable files other than reports are going to be this caret delimited format. The caret being this a little upward arrow looking thing, right? And so this is a CSV file, caret delimited, right? And it can be uploaded directly into your student information system and you can go through your match candidates. That's the best way once you download the file to view these records. For the purpose of this demonstration and explanation, we're going to import this file into an Excel spreadsheet and review. Okay, so if there's an off chance that your student information system does not import these files and you don't have a graphical interface, you can use this method, but using the graphical interface in your student information system is more preferable. So we want to go to data, right? Now we're in data. We're going to highlight column A. So all it looks like this data is spread out in throughout the spreadsheet, but really it's in column A. If we were to expand column A, you can see that all the data is in here. It's in a single column. Nothing is in column B, C, D, and so on. It's all in column A, right? So we're going to highlight column A, right? By clicking the A or A0 cell or what have you. And we're going to do text to columns. Now, text to columns can only do one column at a time. So you cannot select all. You have to do a single column at a time. So we're just going to select the first column where all our data is in A. click text to columns, and it gives us a wizard, and it's already got delimited selected. So that's what we want to do. And we want to set our delimiter. Sometimes it will default if you haven't done it before. With tab, you want to select other, click the text box, and then shift and 6 to place the caret in there. All right, now we have shift F6, click next. You want to use the horizontal slide, go all the way to the far end, right? We're at the far right, and I'm gonna hold shift, then click in this last cell in the preview. Now I can see that everything is highlighted, and I'm gonna change the format to text. So the data here is all text. That means it's going to be taken just as we see it. If it's general or date, it may change the format. Um, General will convert your numbers into legitimate numbers, and CalPads will place a 0 on the left, and we know that has no legitimate value, and it will be dropped off. We don't want that, so we want text. So all this is treated just as the text appears or as strings. They're just characters. After we click text, we go to finish, and you can see the data has been separated into individual columns, just as we like. The headers remain. Now, if we want to make this easier to view and not change any of the data, we can then select all, go back to home, and do wrap text. And now we can see the values a little bit more spread out, easier to view. So I've downloaded this file, I've uploaded it several times. And so this one you can see has been enlarged, and we've highlighted the columns where the data is different, and we can walk through it. Now, if you went through the overview before watching this demonstration, you'd have seen these slides already. I'm going to bring them back in front of you. All right, let's talk about the matching criteria. It's only the first name, the middle name, the last name, and the date of birth. And these criteria have a weighted value. The greatest significance is placed on the birth year in the birth date column. So the year has to be relatively close to the existing record to be identified as a match. The first name has the second priority or the second highest weight or rank. The first name has to be closer, less deviation. Then the last name, then the middle name, right? So there's less impact if the middle name is not exact or left out or added. Then the month, which is the same as the middle name, right? So if the month is different. And then least significance is variation in days. If the date of birth and the day is wrong, there's less deviation. You're more likely to find a match if this other information is exact or close. So that's the matching formula. Okay, so here we have the records, and I've sorted them so that you can see the closest matches were at the top. So this first record, nothing's highlighted. I'll scroll left and right. You can see nothing's highlighted. This was the deliberate match. There's no deviation in Ketchup, right? Last name Chup, first name Ket. Ketchup is the student. No deviation, perfect single match. All right, we added a middle name. The student's record has no middle name. We added a middle name, right? It's tomato ketchup. Still 100% match. So there's not a significant impact in adding a middle name to your record to one that doesn't have one. All right, then the next test for ketchup, we changed the gender. Gender was not one of the matching criteria. It's not a field of comparison, so it made no difference. So it's got the exact same weighted score as the first two. Then the next single match result, we changed the birth state. Again, this is not a match criteria, so it doesn't matter, right? And so it had no impact. It's 100% match based on the criteria fields. First name, last name, middle name, and then birth date, year, month, and day. Okay, so we're back here on the spreadsheet. So now we've done the exact matches. We see that we have a single match, which means only one student matched this submitted record, and it's only an 80% match. And we have a 2-year deviation, right? The student was born in 2007 0530. Our record that we submitted had a 2005 0530 birth date. And so that is different. And it's a good time to point out on the left side, you have your result match category and the submitted record, submitted birth date, submitted birth country. If you want to look for comparison, you scroll to the right and you have the result information. If you look at the titles, you have the result address, you have the student record that it's matching to in CalPADS, result birth date. You can see all the birth dates are 2007, right? So we see the results or the impact of the birth year being different. Then when the birth year is just a year different, different month, different year, it's closer match. It's an 87. So although there's two elements, two parts of the criteria that are different, remember how significant the birth year was and how less significant the month was? And so having a 2-year difference in birth year or in the birth date is more significant than the 1-year birth difference in the different month. Now we come down here and we see we have the exact same year, month, but a different day. The match is 87. And remember, the day was about the least weighted category or least weighted criteria in the match formula. The reason why it's only an 87, though, it's a multiple match. There's a possibility that the student record can have two candidates. So you see the other candidate here, and you see the same birth date, right? It was the same criteria. The single record we submitted produced two results, two match candidates. Now we're looking at single match, and we changed a letter in the name. So the last name, right, was the second highest category, and we changed just a single letter. Maybe a typo, an extra P was added. It still found the match, right? It still identified it as a match, as a 96. The 95 was the change in the first name. We added a T. Now we got a little creative and added the whole word kettle instead of ket. And CalPad said no, thank you. We added chuple, and CalPad said again no, thank you. And then we got real creative and added chuple kettle, right? No match. We hyphenated the last name Chup with mustard. Got no match again. So let's look at another file. All right, so we used the legacy wizard and imported a result match file again into blank Excel spreadsheet just so we can review it. I cannot iterate enough that you really should download your match results file, upload it into your student information system, and review the matches using the graphical interface. However, I have to thank Marshall for teaching me how to import text files and CSV files into Excel. Find it a useful trick, and we do have YouTube videos that can guide you through this process if I did it too quickly earlier on. Okay, so now I don't want to talk as much and focus as much on the criteria as much as the file and how it's structured. So on the left side of the file, you see every column says submitted, submitted, except for here we have selection. So in your student information system, this field should be available for you to select whichever candidate if you have multiple matches or single matches. If you have to do it manually in the file, you can type or copy the SSID for the candidate that you're selecting. So you have your result match category and the result match percentage score, right? These are generated by CalPADS. It's identifying if it's a single match, a multiple match, or if there were no matches, right? It will say no match. And then it's telling you based on the weighted score, the closeness of that match. It helps you identify the most correct student. Now, you see here we have multiple match, and it's all of 100. That's when in your graphical interface in your student information system, you'd make your comparison. If you had to use this spreadsheet, you'd have to compare the submitted categories, name, gender, birth date, birth country, all that submitted data in your record to the results for the student that's existing in CalPADS. And so you don't have them on the same screen side by side. You're doing a lot of scrolling, maybe column manipulation, trying to scrunch it all down. The match tool was specifically built with the intention of you getting a file such as this and uploading it into your student information system. This is a workaround using the spreadsheet, and I'm hopefully only doing it for demonstration purposes. So let's filter just for the multiple matches. So you'll see you have a record submitted multiple times, and there's going to be more than one match. So you have to scroll over to the results and then compare the information for the records. So if they have the exact same name, you have to do your due diligence. You want to check gender, birth date. These are not match criteria, right? So these matches have been found, and it's up to you to identify if the student has a English language acquisition status. That could be something. It's not a determinant, but could be something. Significant is the parent name if you have both parents' names, place of birth, date of birth. Uh, Even if you know their previous address, maybe that will help you. So there's a lot of information in the match file that's going to be in your student information system that you can use to select your candidates. The match file is giving you options. You have to select the best option and you have to do your due diligence reviewing the data to identify the closest candidate. So I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, so we've downloaded our file and we've done our matches in CalPADS. What is the next step? Well, at that point, you would go to the file upload. You would upload a student enrollment file, right? This file will have the remaining blank SSIDs. Perhaps you didn't have any match. And then those students, along with the students that were matched, they need to have their records updated in CalPADS or SSIDs assigned. So we're going to do that with the extract from our student information system that we're going to upload into CalPADS. For the process of this demonstration, I have a little file here. As you can see, I've uploaded the file already, so we know the records are going to be there. Posted your new updates, and you've assigned new SSIDs to students who didn't previously have them. You have to get those newly assigned SSIDs into your student information system. Remember, the match tool helps you match existing records. Students that are new that go through the match tool have no impact. They have no match. They have not been assigned an SSID. We just submitted a file. Their student record is in CalPADS now. They have an SSID. How do you get those SSIDs back into your student information system? You're going to need an SSID extract. But prior to this, you go to online maintenance and resolve any anomalies. We have a whole training dedicated to resolving anomalies. You want to resolve any mids that were created, right? Even through due diligence, we may select the wrong SSID Perhaps the match tool didn't identify all the candidates, right? Either way, you want to make sure you resolve any mids and then go to extracts, SSID extract, and I think we find it easiest to do date range by enrollment. So I want all students that were enrolled, uh, enrollment start date 12/31/24. I'll choose today's current date and I'll request the file. You wait a little bit and it will return. As you can see, I've extracted the file or made that request earlier today. You download it, and this file goes directly into your student information system. You can upload it and then update your records with the SSIDs, identify any students with disabilities that perhaps enrolled and their parents didn't let you know, find any conflicts in the initial U.S. school enrollment date, if there are any. Um, there's a lot of pertinent information in the SSID extract, so that is the final step in the student enrollment process, which using the SSID Match Tool is the starting point. So we do have further training, of course, on the CSIS training channel. Here's the batch file submission that teaches you how to submit batch files. If you need more information about enrolling students, we have the student enrollment data population file. This goes into detail about how the student enrollment file is used. There's online demonstration. So I had to search for it. 2425 CalPads file 1 batch file. It's a demonstration from start to end of uploading a batch file. It gives you information on how to obtain SSID. So there's several different trainings you could have access to on the CSIS YouTube training channel.